Rita's phone buzzed with a message that would change everything. I have someone for you. A Nigerian man living in America. Successful, ready to marry. His name is Jimmy. Alright, I will send you his number. Contact him today. At 31, Rita built a thriving foodstuff business in a Ikeja market. But the constant family pressure about marriage was suffocating her. Every wedding invitation felt like a reminder of her single status. Every family gathering came with questions about when she would settle down. This felt like salvation. She did not just feel happy because she was finally going to get married. She was also happy as he was based abroad. Her friends would be so jealous, she thought. When Jimmy called 3 days later, his smooth American accent painted beautiful pictures of their future. A big house in Dallas, children playing in a backyard, shopping trips to American malls, and a little far from the struggling streets of Lagos. They talked for hours, and Jimmy seemed genuinely interested in her independence and success. "Give me 6 months to sort out my papers," he promised, "and I'll come back to marry you properly." Rita believed every word. Jimmy's first visit to Nigeria was everything Rita had dreamed. He rented a beautiful apartment in Victoria Island, took her to the finest restaurants, and showered her with gifts and attention that made her feel like the most important woman in the world. "Rita, you're so beautiful," he would say, constantly photographing her for his social media. But then came the first request. "Baby, I need you to help me with something," Jimmy said one evening. "I'm trying to secure a contract with a company here in Lagos. I need someone I trust to handle meetings when I'm not around." Rita felt honored by his trust. It meant something real, didn't it? The meetings became errands. The errands became managing his entire Nigerian operation. Before she knew it, she was spending more time working for Jimmy than working for herself. "You don't need to stress yourself with that small shop," Jimmy told her. "I'll take care of everything. Just focus on helping me build something bigger." Meanwhile, the money Jimmy sent was barely enough to cover her basic needs, while her own business was suffering. As Rita began using her savings to fund Jimmy's ventures, it made sense. They were going to be married soon. What was hers would be his, and what was his would be hers. Every December, Jimmy would return to Nigeria with great fanfare, renting expensive apartments and parading Rita around like a prized possession. They would attend weddings and parties together. Rita would move in with him, playing the role of his devoted girlfriend, cooking his meals, managing his appointments, and sharing his bed. 5 years passed, then 6. Rita's friends began to whisper. Her family began to question, but Rita defended Jimmy fiercely. "You don't understand. He's building something big in America. These things take time, okay? And you know that good things come to those who wait, so I'll wait." The pregnancies were the querulous part of their relationship. Jimmy suggested she stop using contraceptives because it's time for us to start our family. Rita agreed eagerly. When she got pregnant for the first time, she was overjoyed. Finally, she thought, finally they would get married. But Jimmy's reaction shattered her dreams. "Rita, this is terrible timing," he said coldly. "I'm in the middle of crucial business negotiations. A baby now would complicate everything." That was the first abortion. But Jimmy held her afterwards, saying, "We're in this together, okay? When the time is right, we'll have all the children we want." The second abortion was harder. The third was devastating. By the 6th time, Rita had stopped crying. "It's for the best," Jimmy would say each time. We are building our future together, and sacrifice is unnecessary." In their 7th year together, Jimmy finally kept his promise. The wedding was spectacular. Jimmy spared no expense, flying in relatives from America, hiring the best caterers, and renting the most prestigious reception hall in Victoria Island. Rita felt like a princess walking down the aisle, in her expensive gown, surrounded by flowers and music, and the faces of everyone who had doubted her. "You were right to be patient," Auntie Falake whispered during the reception. Rita called every friend who had warned her about Jimmy. "You see, I told you he was serious about me." After their marriage, he kept saying he would go back to the US until it was 6 months. Then he told her that he changed his mind about going back, as he no longer wanted her to be alone, even as they were married. This gesture melted Rita's heart, and her love for him increased. Since he was in Nigeria, he went to the business Rita had been managing when he was to be. But instead of helping, he spent hours on mysterious phone calls, while Rita handled everything, leaving her exhausted all the time. At the end of the day, she would be so tired, but he would still ask her to cook for him or give him a massage. When Rita didn't get pregnant after their first year of marriage, Jimmy's cruelty emerged with shocking intensity. "Maybe you've damaged something inside yourself with all those abortions," he said casually one day, not even looking up from his phone. "Jimmy, that's not fair. You were the one who wanted me to. I was the one who what? Forced you. You're a grown woman, Rita. You made your own choices." At social gatherings, Jimmy began making jokes embarrassing Rita. "Look at how easily all your wives are reproducing. I don't even know if I married a woman or a man," he would say loudly, laughing with his friends. When Rita confronted him privately, he dismissed her concerns. "It was just a joke. You're too sensitive. Can't you take a little teasing?" 3 years into their marriage, Jimmy's business collapsed completely. Rita watched in horror as he sold everything: equipment, inventory, even furniture. When she asked for some of the money back, having invested her life savings, Jimmy's response was swift and evil. "You deserve what I decided to give you," he said coldly. And anyway, what gives you the right to even demand my money?" Rita was shocked by his tone. Rita watched Jimmy squander the money on expensive clothes and entertainment, claiming he needed to maintain his network, while she struggled to pay their basic bills. The morning Jimmy collapsed, Rita was preparing breakfast when she heard a loud crash. At the hospital, doctors ran extensive tests while Rita started praying desperately. "Your husband has severe kidney failure," the doctor explained. "He has perhaps a few months to live, unless he gets a kidney transplant." Rita didn't hesitate. "I'll do it. I'll give him my kidney." Fortunately, Rita was a perfect match. During those weeks, Jimmy seemed grateful. The surgery was successful, but Jimmy's recovery revealed a troubling transformation. He seemed more confident, more demanding, more dismissive, as if receiving a new kidney had given him a new lease on life. Rita also noticed that Jimmy was receiving money from mysterious sources and making plans he refused to share. When she asked about it, Jimmy was dismissive. "Don't worry about it, just focus on getting better so you can be useful again." The truth came when Rita overheard Jimmy on a phone call. Rita's heart began to race as she crept closer to listen. The worst part came next. "No, she won't be a problem much longer. I'm planning to get rid of her soon. She served her purpose." Rita's investigation over the following days revealed the horrifying truth. Jimmy had never been a legitimate businessman. He was involved in drug trafficking. The business deals were drug shipments. The money was payment for distribution services. Her research suggested that prolonged drug use could cause kidney damage, and Jimmy had been using drugs for years, probably since before she met him. Everything he had told her about his American success, his plans for their future, was an elaborate lie. The final blow came on a Tuesday morning. "Rita, we need to talk," Jimmy announced. I want a divorce." The words hung in the air like a death sentence. "I can't stay married to someone who can't even give me children," Jimmy continued harshly. "It's been 4 years and you're still barren." That night, Rita sat in darkness, feeling hollow and empty. She had given Jimmy everything, literally giving him a part of herself to save his life, and this was how he repaid her. Then Rita began systematically investigating Jimmy's criminal enterprise, documenting everything: drug shipments, contacts, financial records, meeting locations. Most infuriating, he had been using her business as a front, her reputation and connections to hide his crimes. Jimmy had been hiding vast wealth in multiple accounts while telling her they were broke. Rita's revenge was methodical and devastating. For 4 weeks, Rita played the role of the heartbroken wife while systematically destroying Jimmy's life. His suppliers cut ties, his distribution network collapsed, and his money mysteriously vanished. When Jimmy's panic reached its peak, Rita revealed herself. "What? Why would you do that? What do you want from me?" Jimmy asked desperately. Rita smiled with genuine power for the first time in years. "Jimmy, I want everything." The settlement was brutal but deserved. Rita took 80% of Jimmy's assets and forced him to make a public confession, admitting to his lies, manipulation, and corrupt treatments. His reputation was destroyed overnight. Rita used the recovered money to completely rebuild her life. She reopened her foodstuff business on a much larger scale, bought properties, and invested in multiple ventures. More importantly, she rebuilt herself. The experience had nearly destroyed her, but revealed her own strength and resilience. Rita never remarried. She had learned that she didn't need a husband to be complete or successful. The woman who had once been manipulated and broken had become the architect of our own justice and redemption.